Hello my friends. I actually wasn't planning on filming a reading vlog this week, but I realized at the end of March, I am going on, I don't want to say like the craziest trip I've ever been on, but like definitely top 2. And I need to like start, I don't know, getting ahead on some book videos. And so I realized, why not film a fun little weekly reading vlog and just see what happens. I have no plans. I guess this would be like mood reading or reading my March TBR. Like, I'm not sure. I'm really not sure. But I am halfway through my current book, and so I thought I'd come on here, give you guys a little update, maybe tell you the books that I want to read in this video. But we're just gonna have a little bit of fun, and I'm so excited to hang out with you. So the first book that I'm gonna be reading in this reading vlog is The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. This book got selected in my February TBR video, and I feel really good. I've been reading a lot of the books that got picked in that video. This book is like a leading book in the financial wellness and like financial independence world. If you want to learn how to financially support yourself and be good with your money, this is one of the first places that a lot of professionals will send you. And the reason is, this isn't like a bunch of facts and jargon and just like straight up nonfiction. It is financial advice and wisdom written through these like parables that take place in Babylon. I won't talk about this for too long just because I know it's not everyone's thing, but just know that I am a huge like fan and supporter of understanding your money and like knowing where your money's going and saving for the future. I'm honestly really enjoying it. Like, each of the parables is sometimes like funny. Didn't see that coming at all, but I'm really liking this. Now let's talk about some of the books that I think might get read in this video. Okay, besties, you're currently on my bookshelf. And well, you're on my bookshelf full of the books that I've read. This is my little TBR shelf of all the books that I need to read for the most part, except for Dune, the ones on the top. I'm thinking the 2 books that I want to read in this week's video, in addition to The Richest Man in Babylon, are these. I just finished filming my March TBR video, and it's never gone so well. Like, if you want to see just a happy girl getting all the books that she wants, go watch that video. And I mentioned how in February I literally read so much romance and it feels so out of my system. Like, the last thing that I want to read right now is a romance, and I was blessed with 2 literary fiction choices. So I think after The Richest Man in Babylon, I want to read Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow, and then depending on how I feel after this, I'll probably jump into Yellowface. I don't see why I wouldn't, but if this doesn't work out, then I'll probably read Heir of Fire. So these are the potentials following The Richest Man in Babylon. I'm so excited, so excited. I actually have to go. I'm getting breakfast with some friends. Maybe I'll take a few clips when I'm there and then give you guys an update on The Richest Man in Babylon. Feeling a little bit chaotic right now. My room's a little messy, my hair's a little messy, but I finished my book. And so I thought I'd come and update the video. I did finish The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. I had a doctor's appointment today. I don't know if you guys relate to this or not, but for some reason when I go to the doctor, the waiting room takes literally forever. Like, you check in and then it takes so long for your appointment to actually start. So I finished this book literally at the doctor's office today, and it was really good. I mean, this book really is like a series of parables, like I mentioned a little bit earlier. And each parable has different ways and different lessons like woven into it about how to be financially smart. One of the parables talks about how you should always pay yourself. If your income every month you get 10 pieces of gold, like pay yourself 1 piece of gold every single month, you know, and then in 10 months you'll have like a month's earnings saved. Do you follow me? And there's just a whole bunch of really wonderful lessons in here that are like set in ancient Babylon, but like they're very relevant to today. But yeah, I'm not gonna rate this because this is like kind of nonfiction. I don't usually rate books like this, but just know that I really, really enjoyed it. And once I've decided what my next read is gonna be, I'll be back. Good morning, everybody. It's been a few days since I updated this little reading vlog. I think if I remember correctly, the last thing that I filmed was my update on The Richest Man in Babylon, and I have started my next read. I am really, really excited about this one also. Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow has been on my list for ages, and the fact that I finally get to read it this month feels really, really exciting. So I started this book and currently I am on page 31, so not that far into it. Honestly, I for the last like month have been trying to get up early to read my books, but for the last few days I've been kind of colossally failing at that, so I feel like I need to get back on my grind of waking up early so I can read more, because I feel like that's how I read so many books in February. But yeah, this book, from what I am gathering, follows our two main characters, Sadie and Sam. You get to see snippets of their lives from when they're kids and then also them as adults, and they bond really, really early on over video games. We know from the back of the book that they ultimately go on to create a video game or multiple together. It really is like a literary fiction story that just follows these characters and their lives, and so far I'm loving it, like absolutely loving it. The ways that Gabrielle Zevin can compare aspects of life to our emotions and the way that we feel, it feels so real and beautiful. I know I'm literally still at the very beginning, but I just thought it would be good to come on here and give a little update. But yeah, happy March, everybody. I have no idea when this video is gonna go up. I filmed a romance reading vlog in February that still hasn't gone up because I had to get out my TBR video and my wrap up video. Maybe this will be out sometime middle end of March, but who knows? Hello, my sweet friends. I actually just finished filming a video for my main YouTube channel. If you guys didn't know, this is not actually my main channel. This is like my fun little hobby channel. I have another channel where I talk about humanity and anthropology, and it's a really fun little time. But I realized since I was filming for that and I'm already all set up, I should do a little update on my current read. So give me 1 second. I'm now currently on page 226 of Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow. I did take the dust jacket off. Literally cannot stand dust jackets. I think they're really cute sitting on the shelf, but when I'm reading, it's a no from me. And this book, after reading like 30 pages, I knew that I had to annotate it. Like, it's just written so beautifully. There's so much that I want to remember about it, so I set up a whole annotation key, and oh, it's just so beautiful. Also, I don't know how well it's going to pick up on camera, but the annotation is starting to look so, so beautiful. So in regards to my actual opinion on the book itself, I am loving it. In my comment section, I might have mentioned this in the previous clip, I kind of had two pools of people. Some people saying that they really loved this book, it lived up to the hype, and other ones that were like, don't get too excited, you might not like it. I now know which side of the spectrum I fit on, because I am obsessed. Like, as obsessed with a book that I could possibly be. I think this is gonna send me into like a literary fiction era. I love literary fiction. I honestly should read more literary fiction. A lot of my favorite books are actually literary fiction books. They're just not as escapism, I think, as some of the other genres that I read, and because of that, I don't pick them up as often. This book follows the story of Sam and Sadie. We follow their lives as they grow up to become game designers. It's not a spoiler, and there's just a lot of ups and downs that we get to see. So far, this has got to be one of my favorite books I've ever read. It's early days, I know. I still have like half the book to get through, but I'm loving it. I finished this book, you guys. Oh my gosh. So sometimes when I read books, I get a little annoyed when I read them slow because I feel like if I'm not just binging a book, how much do I really like it? But this was the kind of book where I wanted to just take my time so I could soak in every single word on every single page. I loved this. It was so good. I completely understand though why some people don't really enjoy books like this. This story really does just follow Sam and Sadie's lives. Like, there's not a ton of action-packed moments. There's not really romance in here. Like, there's not a lot of those big shiny things that I think keep a lot of people interested in other genres. I just felt like the writing was so beautiful and everything about it made these characters and this world feel so real. I know I told you guys earlier, but I did do a full annotation of this book and I love how it turned out. I did like rainbow tabs to match the dust jacket. I just loved it so much. I gave this book 5 stars. I've had so many 5 stars this year. Last year I had very, very few. So the fact that it's March and I've already had so many 5 stars, I simply can't believe it. If you guys are looking for just a beautiful story about life and friendship and video games, give this a read. It doesn't sound like much, but trust me, it was so much fun. I literally loved every single second of it, and I'm so sad that it's over. With that being said, this is sending me into my literary fiction era. I love literary fiction. I'm just not always in the mood for it, but after literally devouring this book, I've got to read another literary fiction. I think I'm wearing the same sweater as I was in the last clip, but it's actually a new day now, and I wanted to show you the book that I just picked up. So like I said, I have decided that I'm entering my literary fiction era, and so the next book that I'm going to be reading in this video is Yellowface by R.F. Kuang. And I have started. I'm not very far into it though. I've read 22 pages. What I'm gathering is this book follows an author. I think she's maybe living in DC, in Washington, DC. From the back of the book, this hasn't even happened yet. We know that this author pretends that someone else's work is her own. Like, I'm pretty sure she steals some work and takes it on as her own book, and then we kind of follow that story. So I'm very curious to see what I think of this. I don't think it's gonna be another tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow situation, but you never know. It's early days. I might love this just as much. I know this is very well loved by people. So yeah, Yellowface is my next read. But on an unrelated note, I just wanted to throw this in here. I feel like I spend the majority of my time watching booktube. Like, I just love watching people talk about books. But somehow I've fallen down the rabbit hole of crochet YouTube. I cannot crochet. The closest thing I can do to crocheting is macrame. I do know how to do that. And whoops. I ordered this cute little hanging plant and I'm gonna put it in my car. And usually I don't go for stuff like this. My resisting and my willpower is really, really strong. But come on. I'll try to put the Etsy shop on the screen if I remember, but I'm so pumped about this. This has nothing to do with books. but I just thought I'd throw it in here because it's so cute. Anyway, now that you guys know what I've purchased and what I'm reading, I'm going to get to work and update when I have more to say about this book. I've made a little bit of progress since I updated this reading vlog. I'm currently on page 192 of Yellowface. Of course, the dust jacket came off. She's gone. She's out of here. Surprisingly, there are a few quotes in this book and a few parts that I have found like weirdly relatable, and I feel like that's kind of a red flag because our main character, not necessarily a good person, but like there are some quotes in here and some things that we'll say our author, that R.F. Kuang writes, that I really appreciate. And so I did decide to add just like 2 tabs to mark the few parts that have resonated with me so far. Now I feel like I can actually tell you guys what this book is about. This book follows a girl named June Hayward who, at the start of our story, one of her friends, and they're not close friends, they're kind of friends of convenience, I guess, passes away. And the 2 of them both happen to be authors, and at the very beginning, June steals, I guess is the best way to say it, she steals her friend Athena's book that she's written, and basically she takes credit for Athena's work, which so morbid. Holy cow, so morbid. I find the way that this book is written really interesting because on the one hand, I feel like the writing is very easy to read and really quick to get through, but at the same time, it's making a lot of like deeper commentary on race and society and who has a right to do what, and like assimilation, like all these different really important ideas are being commented on in a really, in my opinion, approachable way. And I don't know if that's what I expected out of this book, but I'm really, really enjoying it. I do have a thing for morally gray main characters. So I don't like June, okay? I don't, but I'm liking her story and I'm liking this book a lot so far. So yeah, I'm gonna get back into this. I don't have too much left to go and I'm having a good time. I'm having a really, really good dandy time with this book. I finished Yellowface, everybody. Thank you very much. Feeling very good. Guys, I really liked this book. I don't know, I think I said this before, I don't know exactly what I was expecting out of this book. I was gifted this. It's not a book that I like went and sought after myself, if that makes sense. So I kind of just went into it hoping for the best, and I really liked it. There's a little bit of a mystery plot that emerges like in the middle-ish of this book that I really appreciated. I thought there was really, really wonderful discussions about, like I said before, race, society, cancel culture. I think it was also really interesting for me too, because reading from the perspective of someone who is just clearly doing things wrong and basically spending an entire book trying to tell themselves that what they're doing is actually fine. You as the reader have to kind of control the narrative and how you take it in, right? Because the main character is telling you things that like maybe aren't true or like maybe aren't actually good things. And yeah, I really, really appreciated that aspect of this book as well. Overall, I think my rating for this is going to be 4 stars. There were parts where I felt like it moved a little bit slower, and I don't necessarily think that slower writing means that a book can't get 5 stars. I just felt like there was a little bit of redundancy and I didn't really know exactly where the story was headed. And so for those reasons, it slowed down for me a little bit. Plus, who was I rooting for? Really, if you read this book, you know. Like, was I really rooting for anybody? I don't know. And I also enjoyed the ending. I thought it was good. A little predictable for me, but I still enjoyed the ending. So yeah, this was 4 stars. I had so much fun reading this. You guys have to let me know if you've read this book, what you thought of it, because I had a good time. I did also just want to do a quick wrap up of all the books that I read in this video. I'm feeling very accomplished. 2 literary fiction and a nonfiction. Who am I? Who am I? Okay, I think the first book that I read in this video was The Richest Man in Babylon by George S. Clason. This is a great starting point if you are looking to get started on your financial independence journey, which you totally should if you're not there yet. It is not technical at all. It's just a bunch of fun little stories about how to handle your money. I really enjoyed this, but I didn't give it a rating just because of the nature of the story. Then we read my newest 5-star, Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin. This was so good. I'm not going to dive into it because I know I spent a lot of time talking about it in the clips where I talk about it, but it was so good. If you take anything away from this video, let it be this, because I ate this up. And finally, I read Yellowface and gave this 4 stars. I'm feeling so good, you guys. So good. Every single one of these books did get picked in a TBR wheel video, and that's the dream. I also did some tabbing and annotating in literally all of these books, and that always feels really good too. I just especially loved, I especially loved how the Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow tabbing turned out. I just love the rainbow and how it matches the cover. If you guys made it all the way to the end, thank you so, so much. It means so much to me. I want you guys to comment down below with your name, so as always, I can get to know you a little bit better. And let me know what you're reading right now. I would absolutely love to hear. And yes, I think that's all I have to say in this week's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, bye.